fresh selling approach, and I was wondering if you could help me.
Well, it all depends, dear. What are you planning to sell?
Dad, I'm lending me $10.
Oh, well, then I strongly suggest that you get into another line of work. When it comes to asking your father for money, there is no fresh approach.
Isn't that kind of a defeatist attitude?
Maybe. But I certainly wouldn't bother him right now. He's edgy enough about this dinner.
Oh? Who's coming?
Eloise Sutton.
Doesn't she write the society column for his paper?
Yes, and her contract's up for renewal, and your father's very worried that he might lose her.
Poor Dad. He's really got his hands full. I mean, trying to run a whole newspaper office and then trying to keep us happy at home.
Yes, and I'm glad that you're beginning to understand that, darling.
Oh, I do. And I certainly wouldn't bother him tonight about $10. I mean, compared to his problem, what's a measly $10?
Good.
Mom?
Yeah?
Would you lend me a measly $10? Pass. Just thought I'd ask.
Hi, girls.
Hi.
Gee, the table looks nice, Nat.
Well, thank you, darling. After all, Eloise Sutton is your society editor. Martin.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dad, I've just made a very important decision.
Namely?
When I go to college, I do not want you to buy me a brand new car.
Oh, well, that's very noble of you, especially since I wasn't planning to buy you even a brand old car.
Oh, no car at all, then. And since I'm willing to make that great sacrifice, could I please have $10?
Hattie, now you know this is going to be a rough evening for me. I'd think instead of accentuating the negative, you'd try to think of some way to help.
Oh, I'll help. What do you want me to do?
Well, you can begin by seeing that nobody disturbs us.
Okay.
And another thing you could do to help would be to take care of Pierre while Miss Sutton is here.
She'd bring her son?
No, her dog.
Oh, Martin, you didn't tell me she was bringing that spoiled little dog.
Well, the sitter canceled at the last minute.
A sitter? For a dog?
Why couldn't she get another sitter?
Listen, you just can't find a registered nurse at a moment's notice.
Let's get one thing straight, Martin. I am not going to set a place at this dining room table for a dog.
Well, of course not. He can eat at the kitchen table with Patty.
Meet Kathy, who lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet,
the ballet russe and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves her rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
That was a lovely dinner, Mrs. Lane.
Thank you.
Say thank you to Mrs. Lane, Pierre.
You're welcome.
You're very understanding. You know, there are people who object to eating at the same table with Pierre.
Not really.
Well, it takes all kinds. Personally, I think it's rather novel to eat with a dog.
Martin, please, don't use the word D-O-G in front of Pierre. It humiliates him.
Sorry. Eloise, about the contract, have you looked at it?
Yes, I found it very amusing reading.
Oh, come on now, Eloise, that's a pretty good deal. I mean, it's a nice increase and lots of benefits.
Oh, I think Pierre's getting fidgety. Let's talk about it when I come back from Palm Beach.
Shall we have coffee in the living room?
Fine.
Hi. Company still here?
Yeah,
I thought you ate at Billy's house.
they had vegetable cutlets. Want to split a liverwurst sandwich with me?
Ugh, no.
All more for me.
Ross, remember last month when you said you'd never forget that favor I did for you?
Yeah. What was it you did for me, anyway?
Oh, well, that doesn't matter. The point is I need $10 desperately, and I've exhausted every other source but you.
You know what?
What?
You just exhausted your last source. What's that?
That belongs to Eloise Sutton.
Scat! Get away from me.
Ross, that is no way to talk to a dog.
Oh, it's a dog.
Well, Pierre, baby, what happened? Oh, someone must have spoken sharply to him. Now he can't bear that. Pierre, baby, it's all right. Everything's going to be all right. Rock-a-bye, baby, on the tweetop. It's the only way to calm him down. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. Isn't that uncanny?
He's just like a baby.
Worse.
The poor dear's going to be 4 days without me while I'm on that assignment in Palm Beach. And would you believe it? I think he already knows that I'm going.
Really?
Poor thing will go absolutely to pieces. He knows I'll have to put him in that Kennel. You see, I can't even get away with spelling it anymore. Oh, I'd do anything rather than have to put him in that you-know-what.
You mean to tell me there isn't a good one somewhere?
No. Why, they all treat their, like animals.
Well, can't you find someone who'd take care of them in their home while you're gone as a favor?
A favor? Well, I'd pay if only I could find the right someone. Pierre is so choosy. You know, I think he's a bit of a snob.
Wonder where he could have picked that up.
Would you like some more coffee, Eloise?
No, thank you.
Hold it.
What are you doing?
Never mind.
What I really should do is get a companion for Pierre on a full-time basis. But who can afford it on my salary?
Oh, now, Eloise.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't know you still had company.
Oh, that's all right, Patty. Eloise, this is our daughter, Patty. Patty, this is Eloise Sutton.
How do you do?
How do you do? Oh, what a little darling. Hello there, sweetheart. Well, hello. What's his name?
Pierre, he likes you, Patty.
Oh, all dogs like me.
But Pierre likes so few people.
Oh, really?
Martin, look, he loves Patty.
Oh, and I just love him. Miss Sutton, if you ever want to go away and leave him, I'd be very happy to take care of him for you. Well, it was nice to meet both of you.
Patty, wait a moment.
Yes?
It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Oh, Patty, would you?
Would I what?
Look after Pierre while I'm gone.
Oh, well, I don't know. That's up to my mother and father.
Martin?
Well, Natalie?
Who can I pass the buck to?
Mrs. Lane, I'd be terribly grateful. Terribly.
Well, it might be kind of fun for the kids, huh, Nat?
Well, if it's all right with you, Martin.
Well,
Oh, of course I'd want to pay Patty for her trouble.
Oh, no.
Oh, I would insist on giving you something.
Oh, no.
Well, at least let me pay you what I'd give the kennel, $15.
Oh, no.
Well, if that's the way you feel about it.
Oh, no, no. I mean, $10 would be just fine. Now, is there anything I ought to know about Pierre?
Well, as a matter of fact, I did make up a list of instructions for the kennel. A few simple do's and don'ts. I have them right here. Now, if you'll just follow this and pay particular attention to pages 5 and 19, you should have no problem, dear.
Natalie, I don't know what you're making such a fuss about. That dog is only going to be here for a couple of days.
4 is an odd couple.
Well, why get upset in advance? Now, Patty has promised to be completely responsible for him. The least we can do is show a little faith in her. Well...
Oh, I'm sorry Daddy got away from me.
Oh, that's okay. Hi there, little fella. How are you? You know, I think he said he was fine.
Oh, right.
Come on, Natalie. Why don't you break down and admit he's cute?
I'll admit it when I break down.
Mom, do you have any monosodium glutamate?
Yes, dear, it's on the top shelf in the spice rack. What do you want it for?
For Pierre's dinner.
You're kidding.
No, it says right here in the instructions. Page 13. For dinner, Pierre must have half a pound of freshly ground sirloin sprinkled liberally with monosodium glutamate.
No, I've heard everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hope you don't mind, Mom. I'm using that hamburger that was in the refrigerator.
Well, it's not sirloin and it's not freshly ground.
How's he gonna know? He's just a dog. Oh, sweet little doggy. There you are, Pierre. Pierre, that's perfectly good meat. Pierre! Oh.
What happened?
Oh, I tried to give him that hamburger, and I guess I insulted him.
Oh, that's okay, fella. Now, come on, perk up. Everything's all right.
That's not going to do any good, Martin.
Why not?
Don't you remember what Miss Sutton said? You've got to sing Rockabye Baby.
Right. Pierre. Rock-a-bye, baby, in the... That's not working. Mom, you sing to him.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, come on, Natalie, you have to.
I've put in my time with Rockabye Baby. Suppose you try.
Me?
Oh, Papa, please, if you don't calm him down soon, he'll have a nervous breakdown. It says so in the instructions.
But... Okay, I will. Rockabye, rockabye, baby, in the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock.
It's working, Papa. I think he loves you.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. It's probably just the timbre of my voice.
Oh, Martin, I always said you were irresistible.
I guess I am.
Oh, that's perfect, Pierre. Just like Mommy fixed it.
Hi.
Oh, did you get the bubble bath?
Yep. Mr. Sparrow at the drugstore said he'd like to know how you like this particular brand of bubble bath.
You didn't tell him it's for the dog?
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I see your point.
You all right?
Yeah, fine. Why?
Well, that won't tell you the temperature of the water.
I'm measuring it, stupid. It's not supposed to be any more than 4 inches deep.
Oh.
Good. Okay, now. 1 level tablespoon of La Rose bubble bath. There we go.
That doesn't smell like $1.75 to me. I'll bet you could have used the bubble bath you use.
Ross, when a dog knows the difference between chopped meat and sirloin, I don't kid around. Okay, Pierre, here we go. Oh, don't look so unhappy. You're gonna like it a lot. Isn't that nice? Oh, that's good.
He likes it.
Oh, I forgot his towels. Now you stay there.
These towels have to be baked?
Ross, will you please get out of here and let me do this alone?
Oh, boy. Good luck.
Pierre? Papa, be careful. The dog is wet.
I know. Oh, well, I'm just playing Pierre's favorite game, fetch the ball.
You mean when you play fetch the ball with Pierre, you have to do the fetching?
Yes, something like that. I'm coming, Pierre, I'm coming. Extend their advertising contract for an additional 6 months.
Good.
Now, as far as Eloise Sutton is concerned, TJ, I think I can say that her renewal is practically in the bag.
How can you be so sure?
Well, let's just say that she's under a slight obligation to me.
But what about this rumor that the Evening Express has made her a very attractive offer?
TJ, believe me, if she doesn't sign with us for another year, she won't have another year.
Hello? Just a moment, please. For you.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry. Hello?
Papa, I know you're busy, but this is a crisis. Pierre is crying again, and no matter how much I sing to him, he won't stop.
Well, now, Patty, I'm in the middle of a very important meeting.
I know, Papa, but he's really carrying on. You've got to sing to him.
Patty, that's ridiculous.
Papa, if you don't sing to him, he could have a nervous breakdown. And then when Miss Sutton comes back, she'll...
All right, put him on.
Okay. Take it away.
Rock-a-bye, baby.
Louder, Papa.
Rock-a-bye, baby.
Papa, you've got to sing out.
Rock-a-bye, baby, in the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. Patty, I forbid you, I absolutely forbid you ever to call me at the office again about that animal. You have no idea how embarrassing it is. Now, he is your responsibility, not mine. And you have to carry that responsibility out. Will you shut up?
Papa, you're not supposed to talk to him like that. Miss Sutton says... Hey, it worked.
Well, it's time somebody took that dog in hand. You, out!
Papa, you did it. You solved the whole problem. Boys, Miss Sutton had a wrong number on that dog. Hey, Ross, will you hear Papa's a regular lion tamer with that dog? I think he's really got the problem licked.
You licked him? No wonder he went out the back door.
He went out the...
Oh, no. And you let him?
He scooted out as I was going in.
Ross.
I thought I heard voices. Honey, there was a phone call.
Not now, not now.
But it was from Eloise Sutton. She's back in town.
Eloise is back?
Yeah, she finished a day early and she can't wait to see Pierre. How's that for luck?
Oh, brother. Well, don't just stand there. That's fine.
Any luck?
No.
Did you sing?
Are you kidding?
Of course, you gotta sing. It's the only thing that soothes him. Now, come on.
Rock-a-bye, baby, in the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the... Thanks, Mrs. Hartley. Oh, the sun shines bright on my own Kentucky home.
Ross, what are you doing?
This could be the start of a whole new career for me.
Stick to Rockabye Baby, will you?
Pierre! Here, Pierre! Rock-a-bye, baby! Have you seen him? Is he back here?
No, isn't he out there?
No.
Eloise is here. She's just getting out of the cab.
Oh,
boy.
Here she is.
Well, what am I going to do now? I mean, Eloise will never forgive me for this. And I told TJ I had her in the bag.
no. Oh, Papa, I'm sorry. I wish there was something I could do.
How about combing your hair over your face and barking?
Ross,
Hey, wait a minute. That's not a bad idea.
Dad, please, get a hold of yourself.
No, I didn't mean that. I mean, just maybe we could stall her for a little, maybe. Patty, you keep looking for that dog, and Ross, you come with me. Okay?
Well, would you like some coffee, Eloise?
Oh, no, thanks. I just want to pick up Pierre and run. Where is my precious darling?
Right here, my love.
Oh, Martin, you sweet.
Natalie, how about some coffee?
Well, I just asked
No, I
Eloise
really
and-
must run, Martin.
Well, you just can't. Pierre is upstairs having a farewell bath, so he'll look lovely for your reunion. Listen.
His voice sounds strange. He doesn't have a cold, does he?
Oh, of course not.
Well, has he been happy here?
Have you ever heard a happier bark?
Pierre? Pierre, where are you? Pierre, come back here. Pierre, what are you doing in there? Come out of there. Now, come on, hurry up. Your mommy's waiting at home. Will you get out of there? Don't you hear me? Come here, Pierre. Come here, sweetheart. You come out of there. Okay, then I'm gonna come in. There you are, you bad dog. How could you do this to me? Now, come on, let's get out of here. Come on. I'm stuck.
Do you think Patty will be much longer?
I hope not. Oh, you mean with the bat? No, of course not.
I do hope Pierre hasn't been too much trouble.
Oh, believe me, there are times we don't even know there's a dog in the house.
Eloise, about the contract, why don't you give up the pleasure of keeping me dangling and sign it?
I thought about it, Martin, and I decided you'd never try to put anything over on me, right?
Help! I'm stuck in this thing! Oh, what I wouldn't give for a couple of pounds of butter. Hey, kid, come here. What do you want? Come closer, kid. Why not? You're not getting any of my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Oh, look, Sonny, I don't want your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Just come here, please. That's what they all say. And then they steal your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Honest, I'm not going to take your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Now, look. Look, all I want you to do is you see that red firebox over there? Okay, now I want you to go over there and ring it for me, okay? You're not supposed to ring the fire alarm. My mother told me. Well, I know, but you're allowed to ring it in an emergency, honest. Is this emergency? Oh, yeah, it's a big emergency. Now go on over there and ring the box. Okay. Thank you. Now what? What's emergency? Look, Sonny. You like peanut butter and jelly, don't you? Yeah. Yeah. Now look, that fire alarm is connected to the peanut butter and jelly fire department. And if you go over and pull the alarm, you can have all the peanut butter and jelly you want. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, boy.
Say, that fire sounds pretty close, doesn't it? I think I'd better take a look.
Why don't you? Eloise, would you like some more coffee?
Oh, no, thank you. I must run. I think I'll go upstairs and give Patty a hand with Pierre.
Wait a minute, Eloise. I'm sure Patty would prefer it if you'd let her finish that by herself.
Now, Martin, I'm just taking Pierre home, not to a beauty contest.
Yeah, but you see, Eloise, you're going to ruin the whole thing for Patty.
Martin, I can't wait. You realize I haven't seen my little darling for 3 whole days?
Yeah, but Eloise, if you just wait another minute, please.
Martin, don't be ridiculous. Pierre, darling, Mama. Oh. How are you, Patty? Oh, it's wonderful to see him. Thank you for taking such good care of him.
Oh, I enjoy taking care of him. He's such a little darling.
Well, it's just marvelous to see him.
Yeah, it sure is.
He does seem a little thirsty. You do have filtered water, don't you, Martin?
Oh, I wouldn't be without it. Ross, follow me.
Thank you.
Honey, how did you do it?
It was easy, Papa. I had the help of some very cooperative firemen. See you, fellas. Thanks a lot.
Well, thanks a lot, Patty, for all your trouble.
Oh, what trouble?
Martin, how can I ever thank you?
You signed the contract, Eloise.
Well, I'm off.
Hey, look what I found in the front yard.
No, don't shout. There's another way to bring him back.
Oh, yes, we know.
Me.
Rock-a-bye. Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl could see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a
We'll have a couple of banana delights, chocolate chip, marshmallow drip, and butterscotch whip.
Sounds dreamy.
Must be great to be crazy in love. You just never seem to get hungry.
Poor Louis. I guess he's too old to understand people like us.
Aren't we lucky, Rich? I mean, we found the someone we want, and we know that that special someone is always going to be there.
Yeah, it's spooky. Drives everything else out of your mind. Yowie!
What is it?
I forgot to tell Louis to put sprinkles on.
Patty. Hi, Cynthia. What did I tell you? You know Roddy Dawson, the new football captain. Only to say hello. He's really something else, isn't he? Patty, that's what he says about you. Roddy Dawson? Himself. My brother told me that he is dying to date you. He is? Why doesn't he ask me? Because of Richard. What about him? Well, he knows that you and Richard are a thing, you know. Well, anyway, I thought you'd like to know what might have been with you and Roddy Dawson. Thanks, Cynthia. Bye.
Here you are, Patty. Big Guinness, wild.
Richard, I've been wondering.
About what?
Don't you think we're too young to go steady?
Meet Kathy, who lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! Thought they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet,
The ballet russe and crepe Suzette are Patty off to rock and roll. The hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet! Still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Poor Richard, he must have been terribly upset. Well, he was at first. But I explained to him how wrong it was for people as young as us, and babes in the woods practically, to get so deeply involved. I see. And then I tried to tell him that, well, how unfair it was to him for me to monopolize all his time. Yes, of course. How dangerous. Kathy, have you any idea how many people ruin their entire lives by rushing into early marriages? No, how many? Well, you'd be amazed. I dare say. What's his name, Pat? Whose name? The boy who suddenly made you feel you were being unfair to Richard. Why, Catherine, what a thing to say. I'm sorry.
Hi, Patty. Hi, Kathy.
Oh, hi, Rich. Sit down.
Do you think that's such a good idea, considering?
Well, just because we broke up doesn't mean we have to be strangers.
No, I think if we're going to break, we ought to break clean.
Oh. Well, that's very mature of you, Richard.
So if you don't mind, I'll sit over there.
See you around.
Yeah.
Hi, Patty. Oh, hi, Cynthia. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but, what's with Richard? Cynthia, can you keep a secret? Of course. You won't tell us all? My lips are sealed. Well, Richard and I have decided to cool it. You mean you're... Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, we're still very good friends, but we both feel we shouldn't spend so much time together.
Excuse me, Patty, my ice cream's getting cold. I hope everything works out for the best.
Now watch the signal drums begin to pound. Well, mission accomplished. You know, the only thing I feel pretty flaky about is Richard. I mean, it takes a pretty special person to understand him. I hope he won't be too lonely without me. Oh, I don't think you'll have to worry about that. Well, I'm glad he doesn't have to eat alone. If things keep going the way they are going, he might not get to eat at all. He was never that funny when I dated him.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Rich.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I had to tell the coach something about the cheerleading. Is practice over yet?
Just finished. How's things?
Oh, just fine. How's things with you?
Can't complain. Take care.
See ya. Hi, Roddy. Remember me?
Sure, you're Patty Lane. Hi.
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 Nice talking to you, Patty.
Hi, Patty. You seen Richard?
He just left.
That's Roddy's latest, Dee Dee Lavelle. He certainly can pick 'em.
And drop him. Cynthia, yesterday you said your brother told you that Roddy was ape for me.
Yeah, how about that? It just proves, Patty. Go figure a man. You know, my brother told me she's already got Roddy's class ring.
You know something about your brother?
What?
He talks too much.
Patty,
Yes, Papa?
you sure you don't want to go to that lecture with us?
Oh, no, this book is fascinating. Have a good time.
Hey, Patty, you're not sorry you broke up with Richard, are you?
Oh, no, Papa. It was the mature thing to do.
Well, it's certainly more sensible at your age to play the field. Have you met any interesting new boys?
Oh, yes, Gads. The phone hasn't stopped ringing.
Don't overdo the social whirl.
I'll try not to.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Enjoy yourself. Well, don't just sit there. Ring. Operator, this is 624-1098. Would you please ring back and check the line? I think it's out of order.
Certainly. Hang up, please.
Hi, this is Patty Lane. Who's this?
This is the operator. Your line seems to be in order.
Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Rich.
I just came by to return this history book.
Oh, thank you. Won't you come in?
Well, just for a sec. I'm meeting Cynthia at the malt shop.
Oh.
Gosh, the old place hasn't changed a bit.
No, not in 3 whole days.
I'm sure flies.
Yes.
How's things?
Oh, just great. How's things with you?
Oh, great. I've been seeing a lot of Cynthia.
She's a lovely girl.
But I haven't forgot what you told me about not getting tied down. I'm also dating Millie, Molly, Julie, Alice, and Leela.
That's very mature of you, Richard.
How about yourself, Patty? Been busy?
Oh, wildly.
Who you been seeing?
Well, to tell you the truth, Richard, all the boys at school seem terribly young to me now.
Are you waiting for a call?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I was expecting a call from, Keith.
Keith?
Yes. Didn't I ever mention Keith Caldwell? He's this terribly rich and social boy I met up in New Hampshire this summer. He was there for skiing.
In the summertime?
Oh, well, when you're that rich, Richard, you can afford to import your own snow.
Keith Caldwell, huh?
Yes, yes. You know, he's top man in his class at this very exclusive military academy.
No kidding.
And captain of the firing squad.
Gee.
Oh, yes, yes. Keith drove down today to show me his new Alfa Rodolfo.
He's got an Alfa Rodolfo?
Why, is that something?
Patty, how come you never mentioned this hotshot Caldwell before?
Well, Richard, one doesn't like to drop names, does one? Richard, it's awfully chilly in here. Would you mind checking to see if I left the back door open?
Oh, sure, Patty.
Thank you.
Operator?
Hello, this is 624-1098. Would you mind checking to see if this number is working?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Door's okay, Patty.
Oh, good. Hello?
Is this 624-1098?
Just a minute, please. It's the long-distance operator. Would you excuse me?
Oh, sure.
Hello?
This is the operator.
Why, yes, Kent. Hello, dear.
Kent? I thought you said his name was Keith.
Oh, well, he's calling from Kent, Connecticut. Yes? Well, of course I'm glad you called.
624-1098?
Yes, operator, my party's on the line. Yes, Keith, dear, you were saying? Oh, dancing at the Peabody Room? I adore to. And then dinner at Le Magnifique? Oh, Keith, you're too much. Of course I do, silly boy. All right, dear, see you then. Ta-ta.
What's wrong with that phone?
Hello?
Is this 624-1098?
Yes, operator, and everything is fine. Thank you.
Wow, Patty. You're really living it up with this Caldwell guy.
Yes, dear Keith can deny me nothing.
I guess we're both doing pretty good.
I guess so.
And just think, Patty, if it wasn't for you, we'd still be stuck with each other.
Why, yes, Bruce, thank you. I'd love to. No, I don't know if she does have a date. Hold on a moment. Bruce's cousin is coming in from New Jersey to spend the weekend with him. Would you like him to take you to the dance? No, thanks. Bruce, she says... What's he like? What is your cousin like, Bruce? His name is Arthur, and he's very intelligent. Forget it. I know the type. Well, you could be wrong, Patty. Ask if he plays chess. Bruce, does your cousin play chess by any chance? Interborough champion. About 4 feet tall. How tall is he, Bruce? No, it is stocking feet. Forget it. He says he's still growing. How much will he grow by Saturday? Bruce, does your cousin... How is his eyesight? No, I've never met him. Honest. Patty says he has a wonderful sense of humor. I'll bet it comes in handy. Bruce, Patty says thank you very much anyway, but she can't make it. All right, fine. I'll see you Saturday. Goodbye. Pat, I ran into Richard today, and he tried to pump me about this terrific boy you met up in New Hampshire last summer.
What'd you tell him?
Well, I just listened. Patty, the only boy up in New Hampshire last summer was about 8 years old.
No, I think he was nearly 10.
Why did you do a thing like that?
Well, I had to come up with something. Since I broke up with Richard, nobody's even asked me for the right time. Now he's suddenly Charlie Irresistible.
I'm afraid you made a mistake, Patty. You made Keith sound so glamorous, none of the other boys would ever come near you.
Yeah. Boys sure are chicken.
Patty, how about this? Why don't you start a rumor that you and Keith had a terrible fight and broke up?
Kathy. You want me to tell a fib?
Hey, Patty.
Oh, I'll see you in a minute, Nicky. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Rich.
Hi, Pat.
Say hello to Irving.
Oh, he's very cute.
Richard insisted that I have, and he's getting me a corsage to wear to the dance.
Oh, well, you're finally learning how to treat a lady, huh, Rich?
Yeah, Cynthia's teaching me.
Oh. Gee, I'm awfully sorry we won't be able to join you at the dance tonight.
Yeah, you told me. Keith's taking you to La Go-Go East.
Oh, did I mention that? Yes, we've come to think of it as our place.
I'm so sorry that we won't be able to meet him.
Oh, you probably will.
What? I mean, where?
At your house before the dance. I'm driving Bruce over to pick up Kathy.
Oh, I don't think that's necessary, Richard.
Yes, it is. Otherwise, Kathy will have to walk. Bruce doesn't have a car, and neither does Arthur. Hey, you think Keith will show up in his Alfa Rodolfo? I'd really like to see it.
Well, I really don't know what time he's going to get there, Rich.
Well, we can wait. Well, we'll see you tonight.
Yeah. Bye, Irving. Boy. Oh, it's almost 9 o'clock. Shouldn't we be going? What's your hurry, Kathy? It'll go on for hours. Patty? Keith should be along any minute. I'd like you all to meet him, really. Keith? I suppose so. Richard, would you get the door, please?
You bet.
Do you think he'll be wearing his uniform?
Yes, I suppose so.
Telegram for you, Patty.
Oh, thank you, Richard. Oh, it's from Keith. Darling, I can hardly bear each long moment until I'm there. Love, Keith. Isn't that thoughtful?
Never even send me a postcard.
Postcard? We've only been dating for 3 days.
Oh, here he comes now.
I'll get it.
Thank you, Richard.
I didn't hear his Alfa Rodolfo drive up.
Oh, well, that's because it has one of those very special foreign mufflers.
For you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, aren't they beautiful? Oh. Roses are red, violets are blue, orchids are sweet. These are you, adoringly, Keith. Aren't they charming?
In an ostentatious way.
That must be him. I'll get it.
Is this the Lane residence?
Yes, where's Mr. Caldwell?
Oh, the dispatcher said
Oh,
I was
he
supposed
sent this note, huh?
What? No.
Wait in the cab, I'll be right there. Patty? What is it? It's a note from Keith. Forgive me, darling. Will you join me at the Ritz? I ran into an old friend from Paris. Well, have a nice evening. Ta-ta.
Boy, what an operator.
He certainly is.
Well, there are 2 over there, Martin.
Maybe you don't know it, miss, but we've got a water shortage.
Beg your pardon?
That was your 8th trip to the fountain.
Sorry.
You've been around here a long time. What bus are you waiting for?
Well, I'm not really waiting for any bus. I kind of like sitting around bus stations.
I think you'd be better off home in bed.
Bus 110, now leaving for Hoboken, Jersey City, Plainfield, and Morristown.
Hurry! You'll miss your bus, Arthur. right, Arthur, you missed your bus. Well, you'll make the next one. Hey, let's sit down. We don't have too long before the next bus comes anyway. Hey, how about that dance?
It was wonderful. I'm hungry.
There's an idea.
Need a horse. How much more time before the next bus?
I don't know, about 20 minutes.
I don't think Patty's home yet.
Oh, I forgot to turn off the garage light. I'll be right back.
All right, dear. I'll get the coffee started.
Good night, Keith. It was a lovely evening. I'm sorry it's too late to let you in. Good night. Drive carefully.
They just don't kiss goodnight like they used to. After you. Patty, you amaze me.
I sort of flabbergast myself, Papa.
What can I say to her after all that?
I'll say it for you. I told a pack of lies, which is not only wrong and bad and unethical. It's dumb.
I'm forced to agree.
Don't worry, Papa. I'm ready to take the consequences.
What consequences are those, dear?
Well, I've lost Richard and nobody else wants me. I'll probably go the rest of my life without dating another boy.
Anybody up?
Richard, what are you doing here?
Cynthia gave me the air. Because I wouldn't take her to some clip joint called the Go-Go East.
La Go-Go East.
Yeah, I told Cynthia that Keith was taking me there tonight.
He took off already, huh?
Yeah, he had to go racing. Richard, there is no Keith Caldwell. There never was. I made him up.
Patty, you made it up to make me jealous.
Oh, well,
Richard, you're very perceptive. Darling, I think our coffee's ready.
Good.
In the kitchen.
Patty, you arranged all that jazz, the telegram and the flowers and all, just for me.
Mm-hmm.
Pat, do you think we could start going steady again?
I'd love to.
Don't worry, mature people like us won't let ourselves get too involved.
I don't think there's anything wrong with getting a little involved. Pat? What are you daydreaming about? Nothing. I was just thinking, Kath. Wouldn't it be wild if there really was a Keith Caldwell and years from now we ran into each other? Patty, that's the silliest thing I've ever heard. He was just a figment of your imagination. I know. But he was such a cute figment. I'll get it. Hello? Yes, this is the Lane residence. Who's this? Mr. Caldwell? It's Richard trying to put me on. So, this is Mr. Caldwell, Well, listen, Mr. Caldwell, you may think this is funny, but I think it's just dumb. It's not smart, it's dumb. Because I think practical jokes are the lowest form of humor. And another thing, Mr. Caldwell. Really, that Richard, his sense of humor is so infantile. You'd think he'd stop needling me when... Hello? It's him again. Listen, stupid. If you don't stop bugging me, you're going to regret it. I think you're being cruel and inhuman and dumb.
Hi, Patty. What's all the yelling about?
Oh, nothing. There ought to be a law against invasion of privacy by telephone.
Sounds like a good idea. Where's your mother?
In the den.
Here I am, dear.
Hi, hon.
Hello.
Any calls for me?
No, dear. Who are you expecting to hear from?
Oh, from that senator who's going to write the articles on state reform. I sewed up that deal with him.
Wonderful. Say, that's quite a feather in your cap.
Oh, yeah. We almost lost him to the Evening Express, but I turned on the old charm, and who could resist me? Say, girls, would you do me a favor and stay off the phone for a little while? Because I'm expecting a very important call from this Senator Caldwell.
everywhere. From Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. The Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a
I give up. What is it?
I don't know. It started out to be taffy, but I think it got away from me.
Oh, yeah, it'd get away from you, all right.
They just don't make recipes the way they used to.
No, they don't. Moms usually work.
I got it. Hello, Ross. What is it?
Well, we're not sure yet. We're going to send it over to the lab and have it analyzed.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll get it.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah, I should give it a name and package it.
We'll just be sure to put a skull and crossbones on the label.
Hello, Mr. Darren.
Good morning, Kathy. I've got a letter here for Patty.
Oh, I'll give it to her.
No, I'm sorry. She has to sign a receipt.
Oh, can't I sign?
Oh, no, not for this. This is registered.
Oh, I see. I'll get her. Patty! What is it, Kath? There's a letter for you. You have to sign for it. Thanks, Kath. Hi, Mr. Darren.
Oh, morning, Patty. Here, sign right there.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Good, thank you.
All right.
There you are,
Thank
Patty.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Hey, Kathy, the postmark's from Russia. Who do you know in Russia? Who knows anybody in Russia? The only one who could be writing me the... Hey, what is it? Do you remember my telling you about that civics assignment we had? We all had to write to some government official? Yes. Well, some of the kids wrote to the mayor and the governor and some senators. Yes. Well, I never told you this, but I wrote to Kozlenko, the head of the Russian Presidium. And I think he answered me.
Meet Kathy, who lived most everywhere. From Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet.
The ballet russe and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves her rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet. Still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Mrs. Lane,
Yes,
I'm Harold Rainey from the State Department.
the State Department.
May I come in?
Of course. I'm sorry. This is Mr. Rainey from the State Department.
Ours or theirs?
It's my husband, Mr. Lane.
How are you?
How do you do, Mr.
My daughter,
Rainey?
Patty.
Hi.
My son, Ross.
How do you do?
How are you, Ross?
Won't you sit down?
Oh, thank you, thank you. The Post Office Department notified us that they processed a registered letter from the Russian Kremlin sent to this address.
Yeah, here it is. It's from Mr. Kozlenko himself.
Mr. Lane, I want you to understand we've no wish to intrude on your privacy, but when the head of state writes to a private citizen, naturally we're interested in the correspondence. Sometimes we get very valuable readings on the political temperature. Do you understand?
Oh, of course. What did he say?
Well, what Mr. Rainey is trying to say, Patty, is that sometimes the head of a foreign government will use the citizen of another country as a kind of sounding board.
Sometimes he might say things in his letter that he wouldn't want to say officially. Do you mind if I look at your letter?
Oh, no, not at all. It's kind of sticky. I'm sorry.
It won't do you any good. It's in Russian.
I read Russian. Well,
What does it say?
Mr. Lane, do you mind if I take this letter with me? I'll give you a receipt and I'll return it to you myself.
Well, I have no objection.
Excuse me, but it's my letter, and I don't mind your borrowing it, but I'd like to know what's in it.
You'll know, Miss Lane, in due time. But first, I'd prefer to take this up with my superiors.
Oh, when will you tell me what's in it?
I'll be back tomorrow.
Wait till the kids hear about this.
Miss Lane,
Yes?
I'd appreciate it if you didn't discuss this with anyone.
I can't even tell my friends?
Not until we've had time to analyze the contents of the letter and decide how you're going to answer it.
I'm gonna answer it?
That's right. You may have a chance to make an important contribution to your country's foreign relations. Nice meeting all of you. Bye-bye.
Wow! Do you realize that the fate of the world is practically in my hands?
Pat, pass the meat, please. Pat?
I made a mistake.
About what?
I should never have given that letter to Mr. Rainey. How do we know he's from the State Department? We let a perfect stranger walk out of here with a very valuable letter.
Get her the international spy.
Well, did anyone ask to see his credentials? If he weren't from the State Department, how did he know you even got the letter? That's my point. If he were a spy, he could find out easily, couldn't he, Dad?
He could be a spy.
See?
Sure, he tricked you out of that letter because he knew Mr. Kozlenko was giving away all of Russia's secrets.
I'll never be able to sleep tonight. I've got to know what's in that letter.
Well, darling, you'll know all about it tomorrow. In the meantime, Patty, while you're waiting to make your contribution to the world, would you like to do something for your mother?
Sure, what?
Pass the meat.
Well, are you satisfied?
About what?
Mr. Rainey said he'd bring my letter back today.
The day's not over yet.
It's 8 o'clock. He's not coming back, and I'll never see the letter again.
Patty, I'm sure he will come back with the letter.
What if he doesn't? The head of a foreign power writes to me, and I don't even answer. Do you know what that could mean?
War.
Go ahead. Kid around. All I know is that I'm...
Miss Lane.
Oh, hi, Mr. Rainey.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, you're not late.
It's after 8 o'clock.
Is it? My time does fly.
This letter, I promised to bring it back tonight.
I'd almost forgotten. Do come in.
Well, hello, Mr. Rainey. It's nice to see you again.
How are you?
Good evening, Mr. Rainey.
Good to see you again. I have the letter right over here.
Well, that's good because Patty was just saying she thought she'd never see it again.
Now then. Dear Miss Patty Lane.
How do you like that? It's the same in Russian as it is in English.
No, I'm translating.
Thank you.
Thank you for your kind letter in which you inquired about freeways in Russia.
Freeways in Russia?
Well, I had to ask him something.
In your country, freeways are connecting links on which automobiles may travel. Here in my country, we prefer the freeways of the mind in which people can communicate with one another. It is a pity, my dear Miss Lane, that our two countries are so far apart. It is sometimes difficult.
Would you repeat that part again, please?
It is sometimes difficult.
No, the part about my dear Miss Lane.
Patty.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
For people to communicate exactly what is in their hearts.
I think it's very interesting what he said.
Yes, we think so, too.
What do you think it means?
Oh, obviously a suggestion for a high-level conference.
How do you like that? I called a summit meeting. Can I have the letter to show to my friends?
Eventually, yes, but for now, we'd like to hold on to it in case our G7 section wants to examine it.
G7, is that right?
Miss Lane, we'd appreciate it if for the moment you'd keep this entire matter confidential.
Oh, you can count on me. My lips are sealed.
Mine, too.
Naturally, we'd like to continue the correspondence.
Oh, naturally. I can't wait to answer Mr. Kozlenko.
You already have. Excuse me. We've taken the liberty of drafting this reply for you. All you have to do is sign it. If you'll just sign right there.
No, I can't sign that.
You can't?
No, it's not me.
Miss Lane, this letter was drafted by 3 members of the State Department, carefully gone over by one of our cabinet members, then completely rewritten by one of our former ambassadors to Russia.
Patty, sign the letter.
I can't, Mom. Like you said, it's 8 other people. Listen, dear Mr. Kozlenko, I am sure that I express the sentiments of the majority of my class when I say that the free exchange of opinion is vital in order to achieve a basic understanding among all the peoples of the earth.
Don't you believe in that?
How do I know? I can't even understand it.
It simply means that...
I know what it means, Mr. Rainey. But people don't talk like that.
Oh? How would you say it?
Do you really want to know?
Yes.
Here we are. Dear Mr. Kozlenko, it was a gas to get your note, and I want you to know I really dig your suggestion about heart-to-heart communication. I agree with you that anything else is a bad scene. I know because I've had this problem with my steady, Richard.
You're going to try and explain Richard to Mr. Kozlenko?
I heard about him going out with another girl. I figured I was wiped out for good, and then I decided to have a showdown. So I went to his house and blew my cool, and it turned out...
Hi, Patty.
I can't go with you, Richard.
You can't go with me where?
Wherever you were going to ask me to go.
I wasn't planning to ask you anywhere.
Well, I can't make it. I have a very important appointment.
Oh, okay.
Richard, there's no point in asking me to discuss it because I can't.
All right.
You know, I'd love to tell you, but, well, I can't.
Oh, sure. Don't worry about it.
I was kind of sworn to secrecy, you know?
Patty, if you want to go to the malt shop with some other fellow...
Oh, no. The malt shop. It seems so long ago.
It was yesterday at 4 o'clock.
Yes, well, I'm afraid I won't be seeing much more of the malt shop, Richard. I'm going to be very busy from now on.
Oh.
Yes, every citizen must make his sacrifice.
Well, when you're through making yours, I'll be at the malt shop.
Before we begin on today's assignment, I have some exciting news for you. You remember those letters you all wrote to various government officials? Well, Patty Lane, who wrote to the head of the Russian government, actually got an answer from him. I know I'm awfully anxious to hear all about it, and I'm sure you are, too. Patty?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Donaldson, but my lips are sealed.
I beg your pardon.
Well, you see, this whole thing has to be kept in the strictest of confidence.
Oh, I see.
Well, I guess it's all right if I mention that I'm working very closely with the State Department. You see, it's a very delicate matter because, well, the fate of the world hangs in the balance. As I said to Mr. Rainey, well, he's actually the secretary to the Undersecretary of State. Mr. Rainey, I said, you can tell the president that he can count on my fullest cooperation.
Patty, where have you been? We've started eating.
I went to the library.
Oh, it's raining out again?
I'll choose to ignore that. Was there any mail for me? From Mr. Kozlenko?
Patty, you only wrote him the day before yesterday. I'm sure he has a few other things to think about.
I guess so.
Darling, put the books away and sit down. What are the books?
Oh, just some reading matter I intend to delve into.
The collateral influence of American foreign policy in fiscal treaty negotiations. Metternich's influence on the post-bellum Austro-Hungarian conflict. The economic aspects of the European common market. It's the sort of books that you just can't put down.
You can't even pick them up.
Would you please explain to him that the fate of the world is nothing to joke about?
The fate of the world is nothing to joke about.
Dad, I've been mulling something over. Would you mind very much if I went to Harvard?
No, but Harvard might.
Patty, Harvard's a boys' college.
Now you got the idea.
They allow girls in their graduate school and in their foreign service school. Most American diplomats are trained there.
You mean you're thinking of going into the diplomatic service?
Why shouldn't I? I've already got one foot in it.
Well, Patty, the foreign service is a very difficult career, especially for a woman.
Claire Booth Luce made it. And what about Pearl Mesta?
But do you realize that you'd be sent abroad? You'd be in a foreign country someplace. We'd never see you.
Why couldn't you and Dad come with me? You could be a great help to me. I mean, the social side of diplomacy is very important. You could be the official host and hostess.
You'd have to give me a little time because I'd have to let him know at the office that I was quitting.
Oh, I'll give you plenty of time. What about me, Patty? Are you just going to leave me here? Of course not, Kathy. You can be my social secretary. Oh, thank you, Patty.
Gee, sis, what about me? I mean, I'm too young to be a diplomat and too old to just sit around doing nothing.
Oh, Ross, I'm sure we could find plenty of things for you to do. You could run errands around the embassy, and you could carry the diplomatic pouch.
Gee, thanks, sis. You're the best ambassador a brother ever had.
Okay? Okay. Get around. But I'm serious.
You are?
Yes.
Ross, where are you going?
To apply for my passport.
Ross! I'm not sure yet which country I'd like to serve in, although I do lean towards France. I think France is going to loom as a big diplomatic problem.
Can I ask you something?
Sure. What is it?
When are we going to see this letter you got from Kozlenko?
Monica, if you knew anything about the mechanics of diplomacy, you'd realize the letter is now being examined by G7.
What's G7?
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to divulge that.
How about the answer to your second letter? It's been over 2 weeks since you wrote it.
You really don't understand, Monica. Everything we write to each other has to be weighed and reviewed by the experts on both sides. That takes time.
And imagination.
You're suggesting I made the whole thing up?
I'm suggesting that you turn the whole thing over to James Bond. Because, frankly, I'm bored with this whole scene.
That's one girl I'm never going to invite to my embassy. Mr. Darren?
Oh, hi, Patty. Good morning.
Mr. Darren, there seems to be a letter missing.
Really?
Yes, from Russia.
What, Patty, you got a letter from Russia just 2 weeks ago.
I know, this is another one. It's an answer to my answer.
Well, I'll see that it's delivered to you as soon as it turns up.
Oh, what if it's already turned up?
What do you mean?
Well, you could have lost it.
Patty, I've been delivering mail for 30 years. I've never lost a letter yet.
There's always a first time, Mr. Darren. For instance, your card is sitting out there right now, unattended. Someone could walk along and just pick a letter out of it.
Now, why should they do that?
Well, let's say it's a very important letter that some foreign government might like to get a look at.
Patty, I think you've been going to see too many movies lately.
Don't you care about the fate of your country?
Yes, I do, and that's why I've got to get out and deliver the rest of this mail, if you'll excuse me.
For you.
From who, Mr. Rainey?
No, from some girl. She left a message.
Well, what was the message?
Well, she wanted to know if you'd be interested in running for some position.
What kind of position?
President of the Oris Magnum Society.
Oris Magnum Society? I never heard of any such... Ross, is this one of your stupid jokes?
No, honest.
Then it must be Monica.
I don't get it.
Oris Magnum is Latin for Big Mouth Society.
Hey, that's pretty stupid.
I've got to get that goon girl off my back. She and her drippy friends have been needling me all week about that letter from Kozlenko and embarrassing me in front of the whole school. I've got to find some tangible proof to give them. And you can help.
Oh, wait a minute, Patty. I don't hit girls unless they hit me first.
Oh, stop being silly. I'm going to call Kozlenko.
Patty, you're out of your tree.
Come here. Don't argue with me.
All right. Say you do call Kozlenko and talk to him. How are you going to prove it?
That's where you come in. You know that funny little gadget that you stick on the phone and then plug it into the tape recorder, the one you got for your birthday?
Oh, no. Dad told me if I did that again, he'd plug it into me.
Oh, come on. He was only talking about fooling around. Now, do you think Dad would do anything to stand in the way of foreign relations?
I don't know. You sure it wouldn't hurt my domestic relations?
Ross!
Okay, there we are, all ready to roll.
Okay. Operator, I'd like to call Moscow, please. No, not Moscow, Idaho. The original Moscow. In Russia. That's right. I'd like to talk to Premier Kozlenko at the Kremlin. Yes, I'll hold on.
I'm getting hungry.
She said she'd have the call through any minute.
You could have walked there by now. Listen, why don't we just...
Yes, operator, you've got my party on the line?
Well, say something.
Here, you talk.
Nothing doing.
Hello? Is this Mr. Kozlenko?
Когда вы услышите звон, будет 8 часов.
That means they're recording the conversation, too.
Oh, I better be careful what I say. Mr. Kozlenko, this is Patty Lane.
Beep.
What are you doing?
Beeping back.
Mr. Kozlenko, I don't happen to speak Russian. Do you happen to speak English?
Когда вы услышите звон, будет 8 часов 6 точно.
I guess he understands it. He just doesn't speak it. The reason I called...
Beep.
You knock it off. I was saying, Mr. Kozlenko, the reason I called was because I didn't get an answer to my last letter. I know you're very busy, but...
Когда вы услышите звон, будет 8 часов 6 и 1 четверть.
Mr. Kozlenko, it's very difficult to carry on this conversation. But all I want you to know is that, well, our correspondence means a lot to me. And I'll be looking forward to your next letter.
Когда вы услышите звон, будет 8 часов 6:30.
Have you got any idea what he's saying?
Who cares? All I know is this is going to put Monica in a basket. What's keeping Mr. Rainey?
Oh, relax, darling. You know what the traffic is at this hour.
You know, I probably should be pretty angry with you for making that phone call without my permission, but I've got to admit I'm impressed with the results.
Thanks, Dad.
I did the recording, you know, and the beeping.
I'm impressed with both of you. And as soon as Rainey gives me a clearance, I'm going to write a big story for the paper.
Oh, Dad, that'd be wild. I can just see Monica turning a lovely shade of magenta. I'll get it. Must be him. Hi, Mr. Rainey. Let me take your hat. Everybody's inside. Isn't it wild about my talking to Mr. Kozlenko?
Yes, but I really wish you'd consulted us first.
Oh, don't you admire my initiative?
Well...
Mr. Rainey's here. Shall we get started?
Oh.
Hello, Mr. Rainey.
Shall I
nice
turn on the
to see
machine,
you
sir?
again.
I know. Just let me get set here first, please.
Oh, I wish I'd called up Monica. I'd like to see just how magenta she'd get.
All right, Sonny.
Well, say something.
Here, you talk.
Nothing doing.
Can't you go past that? Hello? Is this Mr. Kozlenko?
Когда вы услышите звон, будет 8 часов 5 и 3 четверти.
Well, what'd he say?
Let me hear some more.
Mr. Kozlenko, this is Patty Lane. Beep. What are you doing?
Beeping back.
Mr. Kozlenko, I don't happen to speak Russian. Do you happen to speak English?
Когда вы услышите звон, будет 8 часов 6 точно.
I guess he understands it. He just
You can
doesn't
turn that
speak
thing off, Sonny. That was not Kozlenko.
Are you sure?
Of course it's him. If it isn't Kozlenko, who is it?
May I translate?
Of course.
When you hear the signal, the time will be exactly 8:05 3/4.
You mean she called for the correct time?
I'm afraid so.
We spent all that money just to find out what time it was in Russia?
We?
You mean I spent all that money just to find out what time it was in Russia?
Frankly, I thought it was rather odd when you phoned me. There's an 8-hour time difference. I couldn't imagine what Kozlenko would be doing in his office that late at night.
Well, I must say, it's really, well, you know, it is kind of amusing. Kind of. Oh, come on now, honey. Don't feel so bad. Your intentions were fine. You know, Patty, the little people of the world figure there's no way for them to reach people in high places, so they just don't bother to try. Now, if more of them had your initiative, I think the results could be pretty startling.
You mean I don't have to pay for the phone call?
I didn't say that.
Well, I must be going. It's been very interesting.
Well, thank you, Mr. Rainey.
Thank you.
Mr. Rainey, here's your hat.
Thank you.
I understand your organization is pretty good about keeping things quiet.
Yes, in that area, I'd say our record's unblemished.
Oh, good. Well, then, in that case, Mr. Rainey, I'd appreciate it if you'd keep this thing strictly between you and me. You see, if any of it leaked out, well, it would ruin my entire social life.
I understand. You have my word. We'll consider the entire matter top security.
Thank you. You see, because I really don't look very good in magenta.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. The Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You